Black, Educated, and Broke
is a weekly entertainment podcast
where we mix hip-hop,
headlines, and all things ATL
into the success of Black millennials
in the Black culture. That's our intro music right there.
I love it. Is Randy not here?
That's the old Jerry Springer.
Back in the big chair? Are we back in the big chair? No, Randy. I see Zay from the Bay. It's Shanay Day. Hey, Shanay.
All the way from the Bay, California. Yay.
I am not in the Bay.
I know.
Oh.
I can't even live.
Shanae says she's not in the Bay. Dang.
I didn't want to get people
Shanae, it's so good to see you. I mean, damn. How you doing? Y'all right?
She's angry.
I mean, right. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead. Shanae, the governor, done shut y'all down. Y'all all right out there?
We are. He needed to have not opened things up, but I appreciate they see their error in their ways because people don't need to be getting their nails done. I have indulged in a little regular shopping, so I appreciate that a little bit. But cases are surging. We got to just get it together. Cause
are y'all looking like Georgia in the East?
But y'all just got off punishment, goddamn.
Okay, listen, y'all went all the way back to phase 1. Okay, we are just in temporary.
No, we have. We're going to talk about that later.
I never left.
Going back to
all right.
And Maya is back. Maya, how you feeling? Maya, what happened last week? Q said something about your teeth getting pulled. I thought it was COVID. I wasn't sure.
No, of course it wasn't COVID.
The devil is a lie.
It is. I'm covered by the blood of the Lamb.
You out there close to the Alabama line. Y'all cases was going up.
Listen, Linda, I am covered by the blood of the Lamb, and it wasn't that. I did get my wisdom teeth pulled.
Okay.
So I've been in pain Wednesday. Well, the last recording day was like the worst day I've ever had in my life. Like I was crying all day. Like it just was not. It was not working. And today, none
of the drugs were working.
None of the drugs were working in enough time.
Yeah,
like
I thought you was so gangster too, man. You cried.
You didn't know I was crying. Anybody heard from me? I told you now, but you don't know whether or not that's true. Like, I could be exaggerating because I'm a baby. I'm a brat.
Oh, Lord.
I'll be exaggerating. I'm dramatic as hell. I know I am. And then today we went back to work, so I kind of had to, like, tough it out today because it was first day back.
Were you saying anything crazy on your meds?
I didn't take them today. I was going to wait until after everything is said and done with us and my job to take them so I can go to sleep. Have a good night's sleep.
Did they give you 2 medications?
They did. They gave me about 4, actually. I had the antibiotics, the oxycodone, something to help with the inflammation, and then the lower dosage of drugs.
Drugged up. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Damn. Who'd you go to? Dr.
Kevorkian? I had 2 medications. She said she had 4.
I had 4. Yeah.
I have all my.
No,
those
were my last 2.
All of them, yeah. Mine are fine though. I just went to my dentist.
Oh, you good?
You lucky. Good. Mine came in sideways. My bottom ones aren't coming in sideways, so they had to put me to sleep. So
that just means Shanae got plenty of space in her mouth.
I know. She got plenty of room.
Plenty of room.
But my braces don't help either because I have braces, so it doesn't help anything either. Like everything's coming.
I don't know how you went back. I told them to take all 4 at once. I wasn't coming back in case it was painful.
I did that.
I'm like, I don't have to deal with that.
Well, you have money.
No. Insurance.
Thank you.
I use my insurance.
Thank you.
My insurance didn't cover that much because of the fact that I had to go to sleep. Most of my insurance went to
that's what hikes it up, that anesthesia.
Yeah. And I woke up during the surgery. But
Whoa, what?
Whoa.
I do too many drugs on the off day.
I don't know what drug that is. Speed?
No.
Maya does some other stuff.
Shit. Woke up.
Because I woke up. I heard.
They probably was too scared to give her enough. They didn't want to kill her a little.
They probably were scared because I woke up and I heard them talking. I saw them moving. My mouth was just open. I was just looking at them lowly. They probably didn't know I was up, but I saw them.
Did you feel it?
I didn't feel it, but I heard them saying my bottom one broke into 3 and this, that, and the other.
That's how
my lip, my mouth is my lip is still numb. So
still.
Yeah, he said it's gonna take a few weeks.
That's
creepy as hell.
That was my worst fear, and it happened. I'm good. I'm good on surgeries.
That's like this freaky movie I was watching, Walrus. This man was turning people into walruses. It was
you know what? Anyway, it's Shanay Day. Shanay, real quickly though, can you talk about because you posted it and you supposed to tell the family, but this new project for Aspire TV, aren't you like the producer? Like, can you Tell us what's going on, Shanay. Shanay got new projects on national TV. Ain't said a damn thing.
I know how to get better at that with our projects and promoting it. But yeah, so Damn Right Originals has another film with Aspire TV called In Danger that is coming out on July 25th. And the great thing about it, because Aspire is a channel that is part of like a premium package, so not a lot of people have that, is they're going to do a bunch of online screenings. So it'll be on their Facebook, it'll be on their Instagram. Everyone can watch it, which means there is no reason why none of y'all should be like, oh, I didn't catch it.
Got
7
you.
o'clock.
Got you.
Eastern time, encore at 7:30. I don't know if the encore will be online, but I will definitely check and find out. We shot it here in LA. It was really great to do. It really, shines a light on kind of what young Black parents go through, or just Black parents in general when they're bringing a child into the world. Something we all know and that we understand, even without being parents, but it's great to bring it to the forefront, especially in the climate that we're in, because it wasn't written in response to what's happening, but it's our lives, it's our truth. And, the more chances we get to, show people our truths and the things that we have to deal with that don't even cross their minds, and those people being anyone that's not necessarily Black or a person of color, is always a really beautiful thing, and really proud of it. So yeah, In Danger, July 25th, Aspire, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff.
We gonna get it promoted because
Yeah.
I had to find out through the grapevine. I had to look on social, and I said, "Oh, she's the producer." Oh, okay then.
Yes, produced by Moi. We have
That's
a
nice.
director.
That's what's up. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good shit,
And
Shanay.
speaking, you say you filmed in LA. So speaking of LA, in sad news, we broke the news via our social media. Maya and Q, if you want to weigh in, but child star and actress from Glee, Naya Rivera, she has been confirmed. She passed away via being out on the lake with her son. And a lot of people, I think the shock is still crazy. Like, to me, I was just like, another child star tragically gone. Somebody we've known forever.
Yeah, it definitely was sad. Only because I know I was one of the people who was holding out hope that she would be found like on the shore somewhere, and like she'd be dehydrated and stuff, but it would be like a happy ending. But it's kind of like she died saving her son.
Right.
So it's kind of just like, how can you be mad at that,
Mm-hmm.
But then it's also like the situation, like, damn, like, was she going through something prior to? Because the way she was tweeting and the way she was posting stuff, it was kind of like, what you think about to happen to you? Like, people have an inkling. I think most people have an inkling when they're about to go, and I feel like she had one.
Yeah, and then also I had seen in some local stories about how Lake Piru is a place where there have been people who have gone missing, and the locals, of that area, which is north of Los Angeles County, it's not actually in LA.
Mm-hmm.
So thinking that she may not have been like a local to that area, she may not have known about the waters and things like that out there, but that's been an issue for a while. Yeah. And it's sad. I'm glad they found a body, because I think, at least for me, the unknown of not knowing, I wouldn't be able to fully, move on, or like, just close up that. So I'm glad they were able to at least have some type of definite answer, and she died, saving her child. So
some type of closure.
Well, that lake is similar to Lake Lanier, as it's a man-made lake. So, I'm kind of confused on the whole situation, because it's so great. We don't know what happened.
Right.
How her son got back on the boat, and she didn't, like, what would have kept her from getting back on the boat. It's just so many different stories, man. And he's old enough to be aware of the situation, but has he fully absorbed what happened to say this is what was going on? At 4 years old, that's kind of tough. For him to get back on a boat by himself is kind of tough. But I really would like to know what happened. I initially thought suicide. Your life jacket is on the boat. Why would you be in the water with your child without your life jacket on, in case you needed to help or save them? Or how did he get back on the boat? It's just so much.
So let's do this. We're gonna take a quick break because our producer said we are out of time. So we're gonna take a break. Randy O is in the building. We are not in the big chair. The boss lady is here.
No,
she was not gonna let us run this show because y'all should have heard what she said last week. But anyway, listen, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll come back, talk a little bit more about Naya Rivera, and we gotta talk about Nick Cannon. Oh my God, Nick Cannon Viacom. So we'll be right back, right here on Black Educated and Broke.
Do you have a business that needs a social media makeover? Or perhaps you just simply do not have the time to run your business and manage your social presence? Allow Randy O PNR to take the wheel. From posting content to engaging with customers, Randy O PNR will seamlessly handle all of your social media needs. For a list of all of their services, go to www.randyopnr.com or check them out on social media at Randy O PNR. Take the worrying out of posting and allow the experts at Randy O PNR to handle it for you. Alrighty, guys. Yes, that's Randy. Hey, yes, I am back here on Black Educated and Broke. You know, I just had to let them hold it down for a second because I had stuff to do. But see, what happened is, anyways, when you give people control, they don't really know how to control it, right? So you got to jump in that mug and control it back. And here I am, present.
Control issues.
Something ain't right.
Was there a mute button on Q and Mike? And there it is. Okay, so moving on. No, really, before we had the break, we were talking about the Naya Rivera, and I just wanted to give my 2 cents in it because I had been studying it. Me and Maya, huge fans of her. And I was reading where her son said he put her back on the boat and then mommy went back under. That's what her son said. So I'm like, oh, God. And I can understand, why would she have one? Like, you swim all the time. I get it. You wouldn't think to have one. You'll have one.
You don't know that it's whatever's going on with that lake that can drag you under, like.
Yeah, so, but we're praying for the family. So we're going to keep it moving to the next thing here because who brought the story to us? Was that you? It was either Mike or Q about the Nick Cannon getting let go from
Mike dropped it in.
Mike, go ahead. So you dropped it. Enlighten everybody. What happened with this little craziness?
Hey, Nick Cannon got fired. I don't know what else to say.
It wasn't BS,
how long
though.
ago was the show? Yeah, it's very BS.
It was just yesterday.
It was just yesterday for anti-Semitic comments that he
was
made
the show
on the
just
podcast.
yesterday, or was
the show
this week?
Show was yesterday.
Okay.
Oh, I thought the show was old.
No. This wasn't an old show. This show.
No, I mean it's a recent show, but it was been a few days.
It was like a week ago.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Ron.
The post I watched was from yesterday, so it must have been an old one.
And I will go ahead and insert a sound bite because I did have some sound bite for you guys to hear. Okay, so with all of that being said, I don't know. I just want to kind of break it down for each and every person because I know, right, everything's so sensitive. And from what my understanding and what we just heard, he was reading something that, from what I felt, was kind of seemed to be true. And it looked like something he was repeating what he had saw. And I wanted to get y'all feedback. Do y'all think he should have spoke on it? Do you think he should have got fired? What do y'all think?
Well, I can't say any of the above. For one, he was on his own podcast, and this wasn't anything that he read. He's speaking like factual information. And being anti-Semitic has more than one definition, obviously. We got the Google definition, and then we got the definition by which people who are Semites that go by, which are people who look like us. I'm not going to get into that because that goes a little deeper into the rabbit hole than we have time to do. But what he said was not anti-Semitic according to the Google definition of what people say being anti-Semitic is. And I think it was a jump to a conclusion by Viacom because of the racial things that are going on. With Deshaun Jackson last week, I don't think they actually knew what was being said, which can really play into the hands for Nick because being fired for the wrong thing is a big HR problem.
Yeah, okay. That's exactly what it is. But like you said, that's why they fired him because of the times. I still don't understand because of what's going on in the times, and then you fired a black man of all things. But
and I hate it.
Fully able to see, you know, when I honestly feel like it was using him as an example because he's a powerful figure. They didn't agree or like what he was saying, or other people didn't, and they would want something done. So it's like we firing all these white people or whatever. Fire, you know, this black man to show that we aren't
They're gonna be equal across the board.
Yeah.
Equality,
Exactly.
equality.
That's why we need our own platforms.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because that explains P. Diddy. As you know, he came back and he offered him to be on Revolt TV because he got let go. So, you know, I just one of the things I know it's like the climate is sensitive. It's like on one end, you got to make an example, but it's just like it's
his personal show and his personal opinion. I mean, but again, that's why you got to read your contract and see what you can and can't say.
Yeah, so you know, we're gonna take a poll on Black Educated and Broke to, you know, ask you guys' opinion. Do you were in favor that you feel like Nick should have kept his job, or are you in favor that he got fired because everybody else is getting in trouble? And I know, like for myself, I'm sure Mike B, us using this platform on Black Educated and Broke and us doing the Power Pod, you know, I know we too have to kind of be mindful because being that we work for WSB, which is a big brand in itself. Yeah, there's some stuff that, you know, we can't say either. We have to be mindful because they will be ready to cut. And it's sad that it got to be like that. But like I said, I think Shanay said it best. Read your contract. Know what's in your rights. That's something that Sasha was very serious about telling me about what she could and couldn't do, what was in writing. So, you know, Nick Cannon, we hoping that stuff works out for you guys. We're going to continue this conversation on social media.
They need to go and apologize. Just apologize.
Like Mike B said. And guys, make sure you can catch up on this story because we're going to keep you up to date on our social pages, which is at Black Educated and Broke on Facebook and on Instagram, and on Twitter at BEB Podcast _ATL. So we're going to take another quick break. But before we get into this next break, we are going to have what Mike B said earlier. It is Shanay Day. We're going to have a behind the scenes interview with Armie Hicks Jr. and his latest release of a short film called Circuit. So if you want to hear more about it, you got to keep listening right here on Black Educated and Broke.
What's up, y'all? It's Armie Hicks, the director of Circuit. And you know I stay listening to Black Educated and Broke. Love.
We are back here on Black Educated and Broke. I got my girl Shanay in the building. I got Q, Ron, Mike B, and Maya Poo is back. And maybe more talkative in this next segment. What segment am I talking about? It is the Shanay Day behind the scenes segment where we take the time to highlight Black filmmakers, producers in the industry. And today's guest is Mr. Armie Hicks, but I'm going to go ahead and let Shanay go ahead and toss that and run that because she kind of know him.
Well, thank you, Randy. Like you said, we are going behind the scenes today with the multi-hyphenated filmmaker, actor, director, producer. I think I have all the credits right, but let me know if I pass something to Armie. Armie Hicks Jr. He hails from Raleigh, North Carolina, and has made a name for himself in shows like Atlanta and Coroner. Welcome, Armie.
Yo, what's up?
You got to ask him now, Raleigh or Durham? Which one? Because you know that.
Oh, I'm from Raleigh.
Okay,
Raleigh.
I got to make sure.
From the south side of Raleigh, like that. You know what I mean?
How far is Raleigh from Durham? Aren't they right by each other?
That's what I'm saying. You got to ask them.
Yeah, it's like 10, 15 minutes. It's not even far, but big rivals. Like, don't confuse the two, please.
Oh yeah, them fighting words right there. That we got to make sure.
Raleigh. Now, and even though you're saying Raleigh, North Carolina, your accent sounds like you're from California.
It's crazy. That's a long story. It's, when I was young, I thought people got judged for having Southern accents. And I thought people, you know what I mean, would think that I was less than. So I kind of worked hard to get rid of that. And it's something that I wish I hadn't done. But unfortunate reality, the America that we live in. So
that's actually real deep. What you about to say, Shanay?
Yeah, I did not know that. That's interesting fact.
That is very, but then listen, Armie, they would think my ass is illiterate and everything because I know I'm country as hell. But guess what? I own up to it. Educated. What's up? Okay. Anyway, but
it come out now. When I get passionate and I get I get on the roll, you'll hear it. Trust me. There'll be parts. You'll get them inflections.
Hey, Mr. Raleigh, look.
Tell us about your journey as a filmmaker. What made you want to pursue the arts?
So, for me, primarily what I do is I'm an actor. So when I done played the slave, I done played the inmate, I've played, the robber thug #1 on the call sheet. So those lack of opportunities for Black men that we were seeing, I was like, man, I got to start writing my own stuff and creating, you know what I mean? Like, we want to see more Denzels, more cats that's doing it, that's leading it, that's killing it, not, being the stereotypes that Hollywood and Los Angeles and the little box that they try to put us in. So that's kind of how I got started. I was just writing roles for myself, doing things that I wanted to see myself acting in.
What was probably like the first time you actually saw yourself or identified with like a character on screen?
Probably like Fresh Prince. You know what I mean? Seeing Will or like Martin and these cats had on J's and they were like us. You know what I mean? They were hip. They were fashionable. They still related to the culture, but they're on TV. You know, so that was a first, like Cosby Show. I couldn't relate to that. You know what I mean? But seeing somebody like Martin, I was like, oh yeah, I can relate to that. You know?
Would you say that was the moment then you were like, this is what I kind of want to do? Like, can you pinpoint that exact moment when you were like, okay, like this is an actor, they're on TV and film, this is what I want to do?
The moment where I pinpointed it is, I can't exactly define the moment, but I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to see the world, and most people where I grew up had probably only been to the other side of town. You know, going to Durham is a vacation. You know what I mean? So to me, growing up, seeing these people doing these movies all over the world in exotic locations and being able to, you know, do all these things, that's when I knew, like, okay, I could do that. That could be a path, and that could open up, you know, for me to be able to travel.
And then when did you decide to take that leap to LA and kind of, you know, just go full-fledged?
It was crazy. I didn't even think that I could even do it or it's possible until 2016. So I probably made the jump to LA, like 2017, and then just been rocking ever since.
Okay, right. And like we said, you wear multiple hats as a filmmaker. What do you think is like, is it acting that you can see yourself doing long term, or is it maybe producing or writing? Which one, if not maybe all of them, do you feel is like, this is what I can do forever, this is where my fullest passion is? But as we know, as filmmakers, you have to wear those multiple hats. So we add on those titles and it's like, it's great, we love it, but like, this is my main passion.
My main passion is acting, but you know, you write, you direct, you produce, they're gonna pay you. They're gonna give you that bag. So hey, I'm wherever the bag is, you know. So that's what I'm chasing, you know, trying to get that bag.
I got a question about one of your projects. I know you was in Atlanta, and you know that's like a big. So what was your role, your character in the movie, in the show Atlanta?
Yeah, so I played Kevin. I played an NBA player who Van's her girl comes in town and she's like, oh yeah, this NBA baller is like taking us out. He's going to be like tricking on us and stuff. So that was my role. Unfortunately, it was supposed to be a, much bigger role, but some things got cut. That's just part of the game.
That's okay. You were still in the show, Boo Atlanta, and people know the show. So like, snap.
Yeah. So that was actually the first episode that Donald actually directed, Donald Glover. So it was dope getting to work with him hands on and like, you know what I mean? And just like, be there and chat with him. So that was amazing.
Was there any director tips that he gave you, or anything that you were able to observe him doing that you're like, okay, like I see you, and like maybe wanting to imitate in your work, or like this is a good note to remember when you direct things?
So one thing I noticed about this kid was the dude's energy is insane. Like he'll be directing and then in between takes he's doing push-ups, or he was writing something, or like he didn't sit down, he didn't take a break. He was always like high energy, speaking to everybody, making sure everybody was comfortable. It was a all black set, hair, makeup, the producers, directors line. We had a ton of black energy, you know what I mean? And he was just like the leader of that. Like he just kept pumping, moving. So I was like, well, that's kind of different. That's unique. I like that. And I kind of picked up on that. That was something I wanted to take with me.
Okay, and I see you keep moving. I see there's something right there on your shirt. Go ahead and pull back circuit short film. All right, rep your film. Tell us about this new project. It's on the streaming platforms for everyone to see. Let us know a little bit about it. Congrats, first off, going from script to screen, because that in itself deserves all the praises.
God, tell me about it. So Circuit. So it was an idea that I had been ruminating for a while. The original idea that I had for it was way different from the version that y'all seeing. It was about this Jamaican gang member who found some girls in his trunk, and he kind of just wanted to like kind of save them. So I was talking with my co-writer Shanay, and she was just like, with your male gaze, you as a man, and you trying to tell this story about women, she was like, you got to come at it a little different. So I took that note and I listened, and I was like, well, okay, well, kind of guide me, show me the way. So we went back and we wrote several drafts, and she really brought something different and helped me fine tune the story and craft the story. And then we really started talking to survivors, right? And women who, we started partnering with nonprofits and talking to women who had survived, who had been through this, who parents had sold them into it, who friends had sold them into it, who were thinking that there was going to be in a romantic interest and getting sold into it. And it was heartbreaking. And you know what I mean? The more and more I started hearing it, the more and more I started changing the story and kind of changing the direction and the message. And I wanted to do less of just trying to make an entertaining, dope movie that I could star in. But then now it became a vehicle for something much bigger than me and something much, you know what I mean? I wanted to bring awareness to this topic because it's crazy. And it's Black women that it's happening to. And that's why no one talks about it. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's not on the news every day, because it's Black women. So
I watched it and I was intrigued. I really, for a moment, you had me. I thought Blonde was going to get away when she made that phone call. You know, you hope for the feel-good story at the end, or you want everybody to be cool at the end. But my heart sank when he told her, listen, we're going to Mexico and you're not going to see them no more. And they split the girls up. Like, only thing you know to look at, you got the zip code, not zip code, this area code off this phone number where you can go there and track it and then try to figure out who it was. But now you just took the subject completely out of the state. It was a good twist for me. But I think that's what made it super, super dope. Like, it already looked like an A1 movie. You know, you watch some, you know, smaller films and the lighting don't be right, but that's okay. We still watch it because we're enjoying the content. But the production looked so, like, I'm in AMC 30 watching it. Like, I was so intrigued, and that was a cool story. I really did enjoy it. A very important subject matter that needs to be talked about.
Absolutely.
I didn't know 40% of the women were
Black.
Black.
The
that
stats
was dope.
at the
I
end.
didn't know the stats.
We don't want to tell the movie. We want people to watch it. But the end,
dope,
the
man.
stats, absolutely.
That kind of, and if I can kind of, because that makes me think about another film since we're talking about, like, but The Shy, you know. So right now in this season 3, the last, you know, about the little girl Keisha is missing, trafficking, and so it kind of made me think about that because people forget, and of course, you know, us being Atlanta, these Black girls are unfortunately being taken. So for us to be talking about it, I'm interested, and I was kind of like, oh, like Q was saying, like, oh man, it just bring back, is you want to feel good, but the reality is that don't be
that's
the outcome.
Very rarely the case, which is what one thing I appreciated was the fact that it wasn't sugar coated. You know, like, it's great to have the fairy tales, but at the end of the day, especially when you're, you know, mixing activism into your art, you know, your artivism, it is important to not always kind of glaze over that. So I appreciated that. And then Rainey, I don't know, you made that parallel, which was one of my questions. You the star of that film is Keisha.
Yeah.
You haven't had a chance to see it yet. She's been on vacay, so she's gonna catch up soon. But yeah, it's funny you made that note, because that was one of the things I was curious about, was because Keisha's character, Burgundy's character in The Shy, parallels a lot with this film. Like, I know this film was done beforehand, but did you know, like, or like, it's very interesting that and maybe that's why she chose to, you know, come on this project.
So I don't know, honestly. It's just very ironic, and I think that you know, that they have such a bigger audience and such a bigger platform that they can reach a lot more people than I can. So that's dope that they're doing that. That's dope that you know, I'm so happy for Burgundy that she's the lead of a show, going from being, you know, like just little Keisha to now like on all the billboards. Like, I'm driving down like, yo, because I've known Burgundy her whole life, you know what I mean? Like, I know she's from Raleigh, you know what I mean? So like,
oh wow,
yeah, so that's amazing to me to see her come up. And you know, so when I was writing the role and I was thinking about Blondie, the lead character, like, I saw her in my mind the whole time, because I wanted a girl who was mature enough to handle the subject matter, but yet had a look that could still play younger, because, you know, they're like 14, 15, 16. So she was right in that sweet spot. And, you know, that's just dope. That's just dope. And thank you, brother Q, for you know, speaking on that. Like, one thing we tried hard to do, and I went back and forth with my producers, is like, yo, I don't want to have a happy ending. because this is not a happy ending for the girls that's in this. And also, when you see it that way, when you're watching it, it makes you want to do something, right? Like if she got away, you're like, oh, cool. Like you read the stats, you're like, cool, okay, it's happening. But you probably walk away and go turn on the TV and watch the next movie, right? But when you see it happening and you see the stats, now some people are calling and want to do something about us. People are going out in the streets and they're looking for nonprofits. Like it's a call to action, and that's what we wanted.
Yes. So you say you knew her from Raleigh. Did you guys go to like the same schools, or like it was just kind of with it being just the area that you were in, you guys just knew of each other and then kind of have come up in the industry a little bit together?
Yeah. So she's a lot younger than me. Her grandmother was my elementary school principal. And I know her older sisters and stuff very well. So, so we went to high school together.
He know the family.
Right.
So I got a question, because you kind of talked about it like in the beginning where you were saying all the roles that you had been in were like gangsters or thugs, and so I just kind of want to know, with you now kind of taking on more of a you're putting the film and the movies together, or shows, and all anything that you want to do. Are you trying to like make it now, or what is the narrative that you want to put as the Black man?
I want to put the narrative that I want to put as a Black man is that we're smart, we're intelligent, we can be all things. You know what I mean? Like a lot of my friends are only interested in showing Black men as one way, right? Like the Sidney Poitier, we in a suit, we want white people to respect us type stuff. And it's like, yeah, no, we do. But also they need to respect us when they see us in sweatpants, when they see us just playing basketball, or, you know what I mean? Like, because I get treated differently depending on what I'm wearing. But I'm the same dude. I'm going to talk to you the same. I'm the same intelligence. Like nothing changes. The only thing changes my appearance. So if I can you know what I mean? What I want to do is humanize the Black man and the Black experience. So when you see us, you don't fear us.
Yeah. That is the word. Say it again one more time for the people who didn't quite hear you.
So when they see us, they don't fear us.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Unless we provoking that fear, unless we putting that fear in them, you know what I mean? Don't play with me.
Right.
There go that gangster Riley coming out.
Southside.
So where can people watch this film? And then are there any organizations that you say, you work with a lot of nonprofits where people can go and support or just have more awareness of the situation? Because places like Los Angeles and Atlanta are high trafficking areas, especially during big holidays and things like that. So as much awareness as we can bring, we want to. So let the people know where they can watch the film as well as find other resources.
Yeah, so you can find the film on YouTube. You go to YouTube and you search Circuit Short Film, Armie Hicks, Burgundy Baker, any combinations, sex trafficking film, human trafficking film, whatever you need, it's up there. It's also on my YouTube. You can also go to my Instagram, Armie_strong. You can go to the Circuit page, Instagram. The link is in the bio. Circuit Short Film, and we partner with a lot of different organizations like Journey Out, and there's a lot of great groups like Polaris that are doing a lot of great work. The sex trafficking hotline. You know what I mean? There's so many there's people out there that's just trying to make a difference. You know what I mean? And like you said, sporting events, like people don't know, the Super Bowl, NBA Finals, like these are some of the biggest hot spots for trafficking. You know what I mean? Anytime you get a large group of older men with alcohol and money, that's a hot spot. So keep your eyes open. And just try to stay vigilant and stay active.
Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break as we're talking about being vigilant and active. We're going to be active and try to get these commercials and coins coming in. We are sitting down with the Armie. I just want to say the Armie, but his name is Armie. That's such a cool name. Well, when we get back, we're going to ask him, how did you get that name Armie? And it ain't spelled A-R-M-Y. So if you want to know the details, you got to keep listening right here on Black, Educated, and Broke.
What you doing? What's popping? You ain't doing nothing. Turn on Black, Educated, and Broke right now.
Y'all, we are back on Black, Educated, and Broke. And let me just say, it's getting hot up in here, honey, okay? We are sitting having a talk with Armie Hicks about his newest project he's working on and some of his past projects. And before the break, we asked a couple of questions. But We're going to ask about his name, which I found out that was what Maya wanted to ask him, where his name came from. So she had that question and one additional. What was your other question you had for him, Maya?
So I was looking on his Instagram page because he was dropping it and all this other stuff. So I was trying to figure out, why did you cut your hair? Because if y'all could see him, well, if you go on our YouTube page and watch the actual interview, you'll see he's like so clean shaven, a fresh haircut. But on Instagram, you're a whole nother Armie. So, do explain, sir.
I went and visited my dad Father's Day, and we get to talking. Told him I had an audition coming up. I'd been in quarantine for a while. You know, I'm looking kind of crazy, and we had a few beers. You know, we just sitting back kicking it. And he was like, "Yo, I can line you up, man. I can give you a good cut, man. Get you right." And I'm like, Dad, no, like I know you, like nah. He's like, look, man, it's one of my hustles. It's one of my hustles.
Whoa.
I been out here getting money, like I'm good. I was like, Dad, you sure? He's like, man, I'm your daddy. You think I'm, you know what I mean?
I'm your daddy.
I'm like, all right. So we sit down, he turn the clippers on, you get to go, he doing all right at first. The next time, like, yo, son, no, you ain't just got me. He's like, nah, bro. And he's trying to like act like he did. And I'm like, get the mirror. Yeah, so pretty much it all had to go. I was
gonna ask. I was gonna say, is Dad in the Army? Like, because you're really like, you're like enlisted. Like,
that's tough.
That's what I said. I was like, yo, he gave me the military cut. Like, but nah.
Because like, if y'all look on his Instagram, it's like the beard, the scruff, the mustache, like the fro, and I'm just like,
love languages, apparently. But you are a junior, so let us know about your name and
yeah. So my dad's name is Armie. It was a family name given to him by my grandma. I think it was his great uncle's name. She liked it, so she gave it to him. My mom was not having it. She was like, no, sir, not naming my child Armie. She wanted to name me DeAngelis. So when she was giving birth, when she was in labor, she's going through contractions and she's like, you know, just yelling, screaming for help. And my pops, man, you know, the nigga he was like, good time, talk about that name. You know, she's like, whatever. I'm just trying to get this baby out of the game or whatever you want. So that's how I ended up getting Armie.
Smart man.
Moment, he knew it was
Smart man, exactly.
Man.
That's one of his hustles.
You got hustled. You're a brave soul, boy, because ain't no way I'm letting nobody cut my hair, especially you been drinking. No, we're not doing that.
It was one of them father-son bonding moments, you know? I was like, that's whatever. Hair grow back, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I could always grow it back. You know?
Yeah, how quickly it was Furious Styles versus Trey. And right there in the kitchen.
Exactly, like,
it's a memory now. It's a good memory now.
Good memory.
Armie, we are in quarantine. What are you watching these days? What's good? What should be recommended?
Yo, you know what's crazy? That show I May Destroy You, fire.
Yeah. I haven't started. I need to.
I'm glad. Okay,
really?
Yeah, I was wondering about. Okay, write that down.
It can be a little triggering. I feel like there should have been after I think episode 3. Or right before episode 3, they should have had the advisory or just
you gotta have a disclaimer, yo, because if you
Is that bad?
Only one particular episode, just because for my personally, it was just like the intimate kind of violations that were happening, and because it is so common, it was a lot. But overall, amazing show, a great way to spotlight rape culture and to have darker skin tones leading it. She is an amazing writer and just
she's an incredible creator. Creator. The show is so great, insanely, like the way they talk, the way they dress, everything is so authentic and real, you know. So that show is fire. And you know what I mean, with the subject matter, she's not afraid to get like to the nitty gritty, you know what I mean? P Valley, yo, hush, come on to that. P Valley, which just came out on
Stars.
P Valley.
Yeah.
That's fire.
That's dope.
Yeah, Ron told us to make sure we watch that. That's right.
Yeah, I watched that the other night. Pretty good
you
so
see
far.
that girl Strawberry? That's one of my favorites.
Don't come up in here with no Alizé. You got me. You gotta be strawberry. Yeah, no, funny.
I may destroy you. The Old Guard yet?
I saw the Old Guard. Yeah, I'm rooting for everybody black.
Yes.
Everybody black. So anything that's popping off, that's coming out, watch The Shy, watch Insecure. You know what I mean? Watch even Rami. I've been watching Rami about the Muslim cat. That show funny. You know what I mean? Like I would say watch Dave, but they just topped Atlanta for top watch show on FX. It was good.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? If you go watch it, watch Atlanta first. So I can see those residuals. And then watch Dave. You know what I mean?
In that order.
Yeah, I'm a huge Atlanta fan. I've been watching it from day one. That show is so funny to me. So, like you could, like I never would have thought it was gonna be a comedy like that, but I think you gotta understand that kind of mentality or living, or at least been through it to accept it and find the humor in it. That is a dope show. I can't wait for the new season to start. That and Insecure. Them is like, if it ain't Martin, it's like Martin, Insecure, Atlanta for me.
Exactly, bro.
So I kind of got a 2-part question for you.
First off, a question.
What?
I'm done today.
You niggas. So, question. First part of it is, with you being an actor, who is somebody that you want to work with, and then you good on the acting part, and then as far as your overall career, where could you see yourself retiring? You done? You good at?
Okay, Ron.
So a few people, I got a list of people who I want to work with. Definitely want to work with Ryan Coogler. I think he's an amazing director. He just got it. You know what I mean? He's up next. I would love to be opposite like Lakeith Stanfield in the flick. You know what I mean? Rocking out on something like that.
My guy, boy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that would be dope. And as far as there's so many talented people. It's crazy because now that I'm in it, it's like I look at it differently. Like these are my peers. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't have that same lens that I had a few years ago before I got into it. But yeah, that's just kind of how I view it now. And as far as my career, long as my legs work and I can get up and walk, I feel like I can do this forever. You know what I mean? You look at like Clint Eastwood, that cat, 89, 90.
Yeah,
I think 90. He just directed a movie like last year, so I was like,
and talking invisible chairs. But anyway,
The reason I was asking where you want to end your career, where your career is, I feel like especially with young people, they may get stuck in, I just want to be an actor, but there are tons of jobs in the industry that you can make a great living at. So maybe yours may be production, or maybe owning your own film company, or maybe even getting into music and scores, because that's another thing that, young kids get into. I want to be a rapper, but the music in a whole, on a movie, that's a stupid check. So
come on.
I think with someone with being in the industry as long as you have, being able to point out those type of careers and jobs could really help kids say, okay, if I don't get on the screen, I can do this and still make a bag.
Yeah,
and still be on the screen.
Exactly. That's so smart, because my best friend is a musician, and you know what I mean? Like he wants to be a rapper, but he learns all the instruments. He's learning how to make the beats. He's learning all the stuff. And same thing with me, being an actor. I've done location scouting. I've done editing. I've done catering. I've wore so many different type of hats, and like I can go get a job doing any of those right now. You know what I mean? Put that on my resume, splash it up, make it look good. Exactly. Like don't get caught up, especially being an actor, because you're only gonna be young for so long. You're only gonna be handsome or whatever, or have, you know what I mean, whatever you got for so long. There's a window. You gotta hit it in that window, and then once that window gone, you gotta reinvent yourself. Constantly reinvent yourself. Find your next prime. You know what I mean? What's my next prime gonna be? What's my next joint gonna be? And having that foresight, you gotta see it before it get there. If you wait till it happen, you wait till you're a has-been, and then you start, nah.
All right.
I'm gonna have to use that for the church said. I was gonna ask you to do that separately, because we have a segment at the end of our show called "In the Church Said," where we say something positive. I'm gonna just use that. Thank you, Armie.
Yes, thank you so much, Armie, for joining us today. Again, let the folks know where they can see Circuit and then where they can find and connect with you if they're not like Maya and already there.
Whatever. I ain't click follow, so chill on me. Okay? I'm not that.
All right.
You know?
You to follow though?
Not yet.
Nah.
Oh.
I gotta give it a week.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So you can
Some dignity.
the film's it lives on my YouTube channel right now. And also we've been in various film festivals, and you know we're looking to be in several more, but right now it's living online on my YouTube channel. So if you type in Circuit short film, starring Burgundy Baker, directed by Armie Hicks, any combination of those, you'll find it online. If you want to follow us on Instagram, you can follow me at Armie_strong. You can follow the Circuit page at Circuit short film. You know, it's right here, and support and watch. And shout out to our team. You know what I mean? I couldn't did it without them. We had an amazing team. Shout out Claudia Costello, the editor of Black Panther and Creed, Fruitvale Station. She was our editor. You know, shout out to Burgundy. Shout out to Lauren Harrell. Shout out to Lisa Mazzata, Sophia Capri, Stella Williams. I mean, we had so many dope women who worked on this. You know what I mean? Who came together, who brought their expertise, who brought their talents, who brought their time, their heart, their passion, and we made it work, man. So,
yes, thank you, Armie, and everyone. It's ARMIE, no Y, IE. Armie_strong is where you can find him. Again, thank you so much for taking your time out to be with us today and share so much knowledge and this insight and things I didn't even know. So I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yes, definitely appreciate it. Thank you.
On behalf of all of us, Armie, we definitely thank you for taking the time to hang out with us, to be enlightened. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap these things up with the Mr. Armie Hicks Jr. When we come back, we're going to jump into the rundown because we got to talk about a lot of stuff. We got Pop Smoke, Torey, Lanz, and Meghan, NBA updates, and Russell Westbrook. Who got COVID? DMX versus Snoop, Jill Scott, Derrick Henry. We got a lot. You want to listen, so you better. Right here on Black, Educated, and Broke.
Yes, sir. It's your boy Ron, bringing you Ron's Rundown. Nothing but that hip-hop fire and straight sports knowledge. Black, Educated, and Broke is now in the building. You should be too. Let's go.
And we are back here on Black, Educated, and Broke. Just wrapped up a bomb interview with Armie Hicks on his director of short film coming out, Circuit. Again, follow us on social media, Black, Educated, and Broke, so we can get all the details. You'll see it on our page. And, of course, we will tag him. But, you know, I was dropping a little bit of juicy conversation that's coming up in Ron's Rundown. Ron, what's going on your rundown, boo?
Pop Smoke, that young man is definitely resting in power right now. Not only is his album #1 on the Billboard 200, his murderers have been caught and charged.
Yes.
2 adults and 2 teenagers. They could be facing the death penalty. So we'll see how that goes. Mr. Torey Lanz, how you doing, sir? Caught your little pistol charge this weekend, didn't you? So apparently in Hollywood Hills, there was an argument that broke out, and Torey Lanz leaves in the SUV with Miss Meghan Thee Stallion, which this Negro done got my baby hurt. I ain't with that shit at all. But
I mean, I don't know if he necessarily got her hurt. I mean, she was just hanging with him. But go ahead.
I thought you was gonna correct him about saying his baby, because we all know that's not true.
Stop hating. Stop hating. Stop hating.
That's right.
No, but Torey caught a pistol charge this weekend.
Felony charge, baby.
A felony charge?
That's a felony in California. First of all, you can't have magazines over 10 in the state on anything. And you can't be there with a pistol anyway. So yes, he got a felony. He was released. I ain't stepping on your segment, Ron. Do your thing, big dog.
Versus battles, y'all know I love the verses.
We're done with Meghan that fast?
That's it.
We ain't even gonna talk about she got shot.
What happened?
All right, what about the gunshot on her foot?
She got shot.
I said my baby got hurt.
Well, you didn't
That
say shot.
that she got shot.
Wait a minute, because I don't know nothing. Ron, you supposed to give me some details.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Watch out,
It's
Ron.
also
I'm in the
developing
driver's seat.
Ron's defense.
So Meghan got shot in the foot.
Oh.
Multiple times.
So
So
it's
Torey
been a
shot.
while before we can watch her twerk again. I'm so upset about that.
Okay, let me help with more of his story. Okay, they went to a.
Thank you. Help me out, cause
They went to a. From what I read in Q, you can help you out too. But they went to
devils, and that's what happens when you party with the white devils in the Hollywood Hills.
That's what happened.
Like
so she
Nick
went.
Cannon. You sound like Nick Cannon.
She went to a party, Mike B. She went to a party, her and Tory Lanez, and like an argument broke out and fighting and all of that.
Not just them two. Kylie Jenner's there. The homegirl that was just shaking her booty with Meghan on old boy's head. I was so jealous. She was with her. That's the third person in the car right there. Her name is damn it, it slips my mind. It's Wicked. Listen, I think I don't know. I really don't care. I'm glad that she's okay. But her getting shot is real skeptical with people coming out on the internet telling Torey that his days are numbered. Dang. It's like he cheddar bobbed Meghan.
Kelsey Nicole, that's her name.
That's her name. Like, did he shoot her on accident? Why'd you even pull the pistol? Y'all fighting? Right. I know you only 5'3", 120 pounds, but come on, man. Like,
and why she switched her story? First, she said she got cut on some glass.
Say that. She never said that. TMZ reported that. She came out and said that everything is all mixed up. So she had surgery to have the bullets removed from her foot, and it's been a whole ordeal. The way that it's worded on Twitter by Juju on the beat, Meghan, and the homegirl who was in the car is trying to make it seem like Torey actually came at her, but that confuses me. So why is Torey and all y'all in the car then leaving the scene if y'all had an altercation with Torey and he possibly shot it? It's a lot to unpack.
Is that why the governor gonna just shut y'all down, Shanay? Y'all partying in the pandemic? Is that what the governor shutting y'all down?
I am not partying.
I've seen that Torey was actually shooting back at whoever was shooting.
That's what I thought.
I've seen that. Yeah,
it's too much. Yeah, it's too much.
But yeah, she said it was with the intent to. It was committed against her and done with the intention to physically harm her. So whoever shot at her, to her understanding and her, her feelings of it, it was with the intention to harm her. It wasn't like what I was thinking when I first heard it is, people getting drunk, playing with guns, whatever. Yeah. It was someone was out to get her.
They was gunning for her.
Oh, dang.
Sound like Jay Prince.
Booty hole tried to take out my baby.
Sound like Jay Prince.
You ain't got no baby.
Wait a minute.
You ain't got no baby. Next segment.
Ooh, heard that.
Oh, well, all right.
Heard that.
Okay, what happened with Westbrook?
Versus battles. Y'all know I love versus battles. DMX versus Snoop Dogg. Battle of the Dogs. Going down Wednesday, July 22nd. I got to admit, though, I'm not that excited because DMX alone is dark and hell is hot. Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood, and then there was X.
The first three albums.
Only got one classic album, dog.
Two in 98 and one in 99. I wouldn't say that though, Ryan.
Bruh, Snoop ain't got but one classic album.
Okay.
Doggy Style. That's it.
I think this is kind of where we leave parts out because it's not just an album. If that's the case, they would just pick an album and battle the album. But it includes features. Some instances is included work you've written for other people. So it's going to get bounced around. But first of all, DMX kind of ran, well, I won't say he ran in the 90s, but between him and Hov, that Def Jam family was a beast.
Yeah.
He got music from 98 at least through 2001.
Yeah.
At least. That's 4 years on music, 3 years if you count on your fingers. But it's going to be a tough battle. Snoop alone, he's got 187 from the Deep cover. He's got that Doggy Style album. He's got songs with Pharrell. Come on, the Dog Pound, DPG. He got.
I get that. But what I'm saying is, just them 3 albums alone, DMX can hit him with them and then got some more.
Yeah, he'll keep up with him. Snoop ultimately is going to pull it off.
So she can get
I'm giving it DMX on that one.
Get it right.
No, but real, my friends, Maya and Randy all in a row just.
Okay, dancing. Sexual seduction.
That was his worst song.
I love that song. That was so fun.
It was corny as
That
hell.
is such a great skating song. Like when
Yes,
it comes
it
on when you're
is.
skating, it's just such a vibe.
Yeah, it is, but it's still trash.
Ooh. Okay, Ron.
So I want to send prayers to my boy Moneybag Yo. And it ain't for what y'all think.
Yeah, cause what happened?
Y'all know he dating Ari.
Oh, his baby mama coming for him. Go ahead. Yeah,
He
tell me about
bought
this biz.
a Lambo SUV, and his baby mama is not happy.
She got that wet.
Yeah, back up.
I'm praying for you, young brother. I hope you get away with that one.
You don't need prayer.
No fury like a woman scorned.
I think Ari must got that Gawk 3000 because she been coming up. Javante Davis, G Herbo, this dude. Who else? She done.
Do you know?
Tank Davis.
It's been crafted. I wouldn't say it's fake. It ain't ass shots.
That means a Brazilian
She had
butt lift.
she had a fat transfer.
That's what I want.
Or at least some lipo. At the minimum, she's had at least lipo.
Yeah, she had a kid, get her mommy makeover.
Yeah, I done seen her little videos. That thing moving.
Lord,
that's for sure.
My gosh. Boy.
All right.
So tell it, Ryan. Don't stay over because that thing be moving.
Moving, boy. It look like the ocean.
Boy, you ever took Jell-O with the fruit to your people's house for something? You sit it down and it just go like this.
You sit on the table and it just sit there.
Lord have mercy.
Ron, hurry up. We got to wrap up.
Sit your face in it.
So, is it just me, or do y'all view T-Pain as a legend as well?
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
Heck
He's
no.
crazy as hell.
What?
What?
So,
Atlanta legend. I would say even bigger than Atlanta, but definitely an Atlanta legend at the very
you said
He's
Atlanta?
from Florida.
I missed Atlanta.
Atlanta?
I didn't hear you say Atlanta. I heard
I
you
thought
say
you said
legend.
he's a legend.
He's from Florida.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him an
Right,
Atlanta.
he ain't from
legend.
He's
Atlanta.
from Florida.
Yeah, he's
Thank
from
you,
Florida.
Maya.
Tallahassee.
Rubber Band Man in Atlanta. So that's I feel like he influenced that culture personally. I don't know.
You said T-Pain and Rubber Band Man in the same sentence.
Wrap it up, please.
I mean, he definitely.
I heard T.I.
Oh, he said
T-Pain.
T-Pain.
I ain't talking about T.I.
Oh Lord, Shanay.
So T-Pain is definitely a gentleman with a lot of hits in the industry. So he was on Twitch telling the story how Travis Scott fell asleep standing up in the studio and then just ghosted him. And this was before Astro World launch. So they had an opportunity to work together, but Travis completely threw that shit out the window. Disrespectful ass. So a couple of weeks, y'all, NBA season start, and my favorite basketball player done caught COVID. Russell Westbrook is positive for coronavirus. Hoping he makes that through and gets back to the team, man, because I definitely want to see my boy ball.
Well, hell, they all down in the bubble. They be all right.
Right.
Stop it. So, I don't know if y'all know who this is, but there's a young gentleman that used to play for the Dallas Cowboys, Kyle Kiro, questions Jill Scott's beauty and sexiness.
Idiot.
Young man, you out
What?
of your rabbit ass
He's
mind.
an idiot.
What?
Well, I would marry Jill
Play
Scott.
for the Cowboys. I mean,
First of all, that's in the
right
past.
now. That way.
I thought you were going to talk about how they tricked off Dak Prescott.
Nah, I ain't going to pick on Randy them.
Wait a minute, what?
So, the Washington Redskins are no longer the Washington Redskins. They have changed their name. They didn't say what they were changing it to yet, but they will no longer be known as the Redskins. Shout out to some money real quick. My boy Derrick Henry, Tennessee Titans running back.
all right, go to break.
Best running back in the league. Just signed a 4-year extension, $50 million.
That's it.
Congratulations, King.
That's
All
it.
right. Coming up next, we
Because
be
Chris
in the
Jones
city.
just
Randy
got $80 million for 4 years.
Myles Garrett got $125 million.
All right, we be in the city. It's coming up next. I'm right here on Black Educated.
Stop cutting him out. He can talk. We let him have his shine.
Patty got $500 million. So what you saying?
Myles Garrett got $125 million, making him the highest paid defensive player in the league. So congratulations to him as well, man.
All right,
Get
and
that
Ron,
money, man.
That's it for my rundown.
thank you, Ron. You know, they give you such a hard time, but I really appreciate all the information that you
Black
share.
man coming up.
You know, y'all, if y'all want to support this black man, y'all go follow him on Twitter at Mr. FYPM. Okay, and make sure you follow BEB
shout out to
Podcast.
Miles Garrett though. Shout out to Miles Garrett.
Right.
Well, who is Miles Garrett? I heard that name.
That's the one he swung the helmet at the
Cleveland
Steelers.
Okay, I heard the name. I'm here. Just work with me. Okay. Actually, work on this break. Okay, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, I think Q got something to talk about. What you got to talk about today, Q? That you done made up?
I ain't make up nothing. Listen, I'm talking about the real. We're gonna talk about Jennifer Mcleggan when we come back.
Okay, and before we go to Jennifer Mcleggan, we're gonna talk about We Be in the City, guys. Keep listening right here on Black Educated and Broke. Shut up.
Black Educated and Broke can be found on many platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and our iHeartRadio music app. So if you need somewhere to listen but don't want to download a bunch of apps, choose one of those. You're bound to have one of them on your phone, right? Right? That's what I thought. Black Educated and Broke, Season 3, coming right at you.
All right, guys, we are here back on Black Educated and Broke with my girl Maya, Shanay, Mike B, Ron, and Q. And we're about to get into what's going on in the city, Atlanta. So one of the first things I really wanted to talk about, because I have an event taking place this weekend, and a lot of people were like, oh my God, well, we saw that your Atlanta mayor shut it down. Y'all going back to phase 1. So just to be clear to everybody know, first of all, it's clear Atlanta mayor and the governor are not on the same page, okay? Atlanta mayor, Keisha Lanz Bottoms. Hey, Keisha. She wants to go back to phase 1, which that's like shutting down the restaurants again, only doing takeout, the 10 people or less social distancing. That's what she's trying to push, and that's what she tweeted out, that she was going to take it back there. Well, then Governor Kemp, he jumped in and was like, she just pretty much didn't have the grounds to do that. She could not enforce it because it could not go over his rule over the state. So, for me, and I'm asking all of y'all opinions, I don't think we need to go back to phase 1. I don't think we should shut stuff down, but I do think that masks need to be mandatory. I think that needs to be mandated across the state. Maya, what you think?
I think we need to go back to phase 1. I think everything needs to be shut down. They opened too soon. They opened too quickly, and now the Karens and the Chads, it's my right as an American citizen not to wear a mask. It's always been your right not to wear a mask, but however, cases are up by 3,000 every day.
Or more.
There's not that many people in Atlanta, so unless everybody in Atlanta got corona and don't know it, and I'm sure we do because testing is so goddamn. Why is New York sending supplies for testing?
Because they didn't figure out how to control some stuff. But before I elaborate on that, Ron, what you think about it? Do you think we need to go back to phase 1, or what you think?
I ain't never left phase 1, so don't matter to me where it go.
Okay.
I before I wasn't wearing a mask, but now I'm walking around with a mask on, and I ain't never left phase 1, so it don't matter to me one way or another.
Okay, Q.
I am with the two who went before me. I'm not playing about this virus at all, man. I'm not taking any chances. For one, if it's fake, cool, let it be fake. But I'm not going to risk my life to prove that it's not real. I don't think is that important. You can still do some of the things you'd like to do, but some of the other things that they have closed, like events or clubs or bar, none of that is a necessity to living. All right, so if it ain't a need, I'm not messing with it. I can't do it. It's just not that important to me.
All right, and Mike?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm with the mask being mandated, but at this point now, going back to phase 1, and for those of you all listening, it will be only for the city of Atlanta limits. People come to Atlanta and they staying in Marietta. That's not the city of Atlanta. You follow wherever you live, you follow that. So me and Randy, we live in the city of Atlanta. So going back to phase 1, I understand, but at this point, it's a battle she's going to lose. I wouldn't even do it, because at this point now, it's so much going on. You got to grab on something, and right now you're not going to win against the governor. So if mandating the mask, he's not allowing that either. So don't even do the battle. Just keep it. And look, encourage your people to stay at the house, even though we're not going to do it. I mean, Randy got an event this weekend, but a lot of events that are being held, you guys are following CDC guidelines. with what you're encouraging with masks and social distancing. At this point, it's a lose battle for Mayor Bottom. So I wouldn't even go back to phase one. I'm like Rondo. I never left phase one as a city resident. I've stayed in that in those guidelines.
And now, Shanay, I know you were in Georgia, but now you're in California. What do you think about what's going on here in Georgia with that?
Yeah, I honestly agree with everyone. I think the bottom line is what a lot of government officials were looking at in that money. And I get that there's a lot of pressures and there's a lot of people who want answers and want things done. But I just think there, with so much up in the air, you know, in regards to everything with the pandemic, it's just everyone has moved, you know, too soon. And I get it's hard. I get there's a lot of just negativity surrounding just kind of, you know, the uncomfortableness of having to shelter in place and just being locked out, especially as it gets hotter outside. But like, yeah. We don't, you know, it's like we still have flu season to get through. You know, I feel like if people really should have waited until after July 4th, that is a major holiday. People are always wanting to go out on that type of holiday. I feel like they opened things up just before July 4th, at least here in California, so they could get that revenue of people and get people back in stores and things like that, so they could feed that bottom line and feed the, you know, the money. But it's just cases are surging. It sucks that we have to go regress and go back, but like, it only makes sense at this point.
The China virus. The China
virus.
Well, no, like, honestly, Shanay made a good point. Like, all of this is about revenue and money and profit.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not about our lives. They could give a damn about
they make
Black
us
people.
feel bad, you know, like shaming our friends and things like that. But it's like not everyone is introvert or not. It's very hard for extroverted people. I feel for people like Randy and like my sister and my aunt, who are very extroverted people who love being around people. So of course, if they're gonna get the chance to be out, like they might just do that, and then we want to, you know, point the finger at them. It's like we should all be pointing at the government for their irresponsibility and playing into people's needs and you know, wanting to be out and things like that.
Get that check back up.
I took my job and closed back down.
That's the main thing for me. This virus is really pointing out a lot of dumbass leadership, man.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think it's one of the things, you know, we're just going to continue to go on. I kind of feel like I get the sheltering or trying to go back, but I feel like with a virus, it has to run its course. And it's like at the end of the day, I know it's horrible, but I feel like people are going to die no matter what you do. You go back to faith, people are going to die no matter what, you know? So all I'm going to say, just do what I feel like is best for you. Of course, I had a lot of family members who... Wait
a minute. I said, damn.
But they are. I mean, people die every day. But let me say, people that's not coming this weekend, you know, like I have family and friends who are not coming this weekend, and I completely support it because I'm not... If you feel like you're at risk, I'm not going to persuade. It is okay. But for people who are going to come to our event, it's this Saturday. I'm a Real Barbie Expo at Paint Tip Socialize. That's the Black-owned paint studio owned by Sasha the Diva and her husband, Kevin Harris. It's going to be from 9:30 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. We are enforcing masks. We have all the tables set up to have 6 feet. You know, we are like really trying to be on that. So if you guys want to come out, we're trying to make sure that we have everything in place to make sure it's a safe environment. But other thing that was going on this weekend, before I get out of We Be in the City, well, not this weekend, but coming out, Black radio in Atlanta are uniting for getting people registered to vote. So, like, I know we posted a story on our sister station, Kiss 104, but it was on all the Black stations in Atlanta, 107.9. I think I saw Streets on there. What's that old school station you be listening to, Mike? That was on there. But the whole thing is they're trying to bring the Black community together to vote. And I think that is beautiful. Instead of trying to compete for ratings, let's come together to vote these out of office. So I'm in favor. I thought it was a great upbringing for Atlanta. What did y'all think about it?
Thought it was a good move from Miss Terry Avery at Kiss FM to take the words of Ambassador Young, because at one point in time there was only one Black station here in Atlanta, and then look now with the powerhouses of V103 and WAOK being as old as they are, and then Kiss coming in right behind them being as old as Kiss, and the Radio 1 stations, and there is Black listeners.
Yeah,
get them out to vote. The registration, the voter numbers for registration, if you can get those numbers, they've gone up, especially since the primaries.
And that's another thing. Like, I just want to reinforce everybody, because with the coronavirus, they're expecting us, more and more of us, not to vote. Oh, I ain't getting out. I ain't like, listen, try your best. If now more, we say this every year, but voting is so important. It is so important. So I really encourage you guys to get out there and vote. Some places are doing email ballots. I want to say, is it Fulton or Cobb? You can do an email ballot to send, or email absentee ballots. Figure all that out, y'all, and get registered. But overall, that is what's going on in the city. All of this will be on our social media, so please follow it. What is that? At Black Educated and Broke. And on Twitter, BEB Podcast _ATL. So we're going to take another break, and then we're going to get into Jennifer Mcleggan right here on Black Educated and Broke.
Hey y'all, what it do? It's your girl, it's Maya. So you're not doing anything right now? Go over to blackeducatedandbroke.com and check out my blog, The Mayan Empire. We're waiting for your feedback.
And we're back here on Black Educated and Broke, and I'm just going to toss it to my boy Q because he got some conversations to talk about.
Oh, yeah. I felt like I was on my Tommy shit right there. Oh, okay, let's talk about it. We talk about on social media, I see a lot of days. It's not really a day that goes by that I don't see male bashing on Twitter. But this young man who stepped up for a worthy cause deserves a round of applause. But a little backstory before I get to him. There's a single mother in the New York area. Her name is Jennifer Mcleggan, and she is a nurse. She is dealing with harassment from her next door neighbors that would kind of borderline put you on in the mindset of as if it was the 1920s or 1919s or when slavery was just ending, as far as the lengths of harassment, the levels that they're going to. Just a backstory, she has a long sign on her front screen door, her storm door, where she's written out everything that's been going on. I'm going to read it to you so that way, if you have any questions, you can ask me. It reads, "Hello, my name is Jennifer, and I am a single mom and registered nurse. My neighbors have been racially harassing me since I purchased my home. I took video footage to court and won $500 in judgment from the videos. I hate when people write like they talk because it never grammatically flows.
Ever.
They have thrown human feces on my property, and it was recorded. They are now planting dead squirrels on my property and have told me to go back to where I came from. They have their friends come spit on my property, and it was recorded. A blowtorch was taken to my home at 3 a.m. They have said that I can be erased is in quotes. Their friends also threatened to get rid of me and my cameras. They walk around in the back with guns, and it was recorded. The police have said I need to be harmed for them to make an arrest. Again, the police has said I need to be harmed in order for them to make an arrest. I live in fear of my life at home. You will hear prayers coming from my home. I apologize for the noise. Thank you, and follow at Stand with Jennifer." So I saw this on Instagram. I kind of rolled by it and saved it because I wasn't sure. But then I saw Ben Crump talking about it on his Twitter page. So I decided to dig a little deeper into the situation. And I found out that she is not the first person to be harassed by this family that lives next door to her. There was a young lady who lived there before her. She's of the Latino community. They also harassed her and threw dead squirrels on her stoop. Why this is extremely disturbing is because when you live in somewhere and you bought a home, you want to feel comfortable in your home. If you can't feel comfortable nowhere else, at least you can know you can go home and get some kind of solace and be at peace with yourself or your surroundings. This lady is being harassed. She's, like she said, a single mother with a child. She has nobody to defend her. There's no man in the home that can help with that. Like, I don't understand where these white people get off by thinking that they can get away with things like this, inflict this kind of harassment upon people, and it's okay in the name of whatever false wooden god that they're praying to. Now, there is another gentleman, I don't know his name, but he has been sitting out in front of her home for 13 hours from 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. Watching to make sure that nothing is happening. There are pictures of our neighbors walking around and behind our house with assault rifles. Like it's extreme. And for the police to say they can't do anything until something happens to her is saying that you basically have to be harmed or die before we'll do anything. And I think that's extremely disgusting.
I think the whole story is just kind of like ludicrous, but then it makes me feel like, could she really like not get in contact with anybody to help her? Like no sort. Okay, you can't go to the police. There was no group. Like there was nobody. This messed up, but I have a hard time. Like I don't get how you can like. There's nothing. I just feel like there got to be more. There's nothing she could have done. Like, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know.
It's a tricky situation. I don't want to get into victim blaming or anything like that. But everybody's situation do be kind of different. Some people have family or somebody they can lean on. Some don't. Maybe they're too far away. Many situations.
Or she could have just been afraid to do all that.
Or she could be
she don't know who they knew.
And to be in that town and the police not helping, that enables the neighbors. And they're like they're right next to each other. They're just divided by a fence. Like, it's very serious.
You said this is in New York?
Yes, that's in New York. That doesn't surprise you, does it?
Firearms illegal in New York?
So
if you got pictures of somebody walking around your house with a firearm,
they are illegal in New York.
Wouldn't that be a reason for the police to go arrest them?
Because I believe they're
supposed to have firearms?
I believe they're illegal, but I think you can also have CCW in New York, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but I think you can have it there.
What part of New York is she in?
I don't know.
Well, that could be the thing, especially like you said, you away from your people, your people in Harlem, and you in upstate. That's a long shot. Wow.
I do feel like. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, go ahead. I was
gonna say we need to get this out though. Like it definitely needs to get some traction and get out. Like I hate that she's being harassed like that. I couldn't even imagine, because I'm just like, I know she don't want to fight back because you don't want to like. You got just. I mean, it's such a crazy situation. I was trying to read up here to see if I can see what part of New York because it does not surprise me. But I'm just kind of like, no, I don't even say what part of New York that she's from. But it's just crazy that I don't want to blame it, but I think it has something to do with leadership because I feel like, leadership, sometimes people follow it to the T and you got your leadership saying whatever, doing whatever, passing blame or whatever. I just feel like you make those real people come out. Like I saw the coolest post yesterday. It was like, to all of my white friends, I'm not talking to you or whatever, but I'm talking to the ones that I can't remember, but the racist people they're open now. It's like it's no longer a secret. It is out. It is about, and I'm out of words, y'all, because I don't know what I would do. So I would try to probably kill one of them. I would have to lose it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I wouldn't want to be a hashtag. We about to listen. I don't want to live in fear. I'm not living in fear of where I am, and I go religious Randy. God has not given us a spirit of fear. So I'm just like, all right.
I don't know who the hell these people think they are, but newsflash, I catch anybody walking around my property with a firearm and I don't know you, I'm letting loose.
Yeah. Valley Stream is near Long Island.
That's right.
The people in Long Island. Come on now. Come on, Long Island. Step up.
Yeah, I would think better from
Wu-Tang.
Exactly.
That's where Wu-Tang from?
Yeah, Long Island. Staten Island, I'm lying.
Oh, listen.
Shout out to that young king for making sure he look out for
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's the
talking about Long Island. Rock him up there. What Chuck D at? Ain't he from Long Island?
Yeah, maybe.
It's Chuck D from Long Island. Tell Chuck D gonna handle it. And Biz Marquis, they gonna mess with Biz once they see him. But anyway.
Okay, well, guys, we're going to keep everyone informed with this story. Again, her name is Jennifer Mcleggan. Look her up, Google her, get information, get this story out so that she can be having peace and not be bullied like she's going through. Of course, we'll have it on our social media, which you can follow at Black Educated and Broke broke. And you know one thing, I'm about to say broke.com, broke. But you know one thing, it made me think, I know this has nothing to do with it, but I was going to say blackeducatedandbroke.com, and it made me think about the Mayan Empire. Maya, what's been going on? Well, you know, this is our blog queen. What's going on in your blog world, boo?
I'm glad you mentioned that because I actually posting a new post on Monday.
Oh, you want to give like a secret? What is that?
Well, basically, now that I'm back at work and everything, I just wanted to like share what has gotten me through this whole quarantine stay-at-home situation, like the shows I've watched, because I kept the list of that, the books I've read, the new music I've been listening to, and just see like, you know, any feedback of anything else that anybody else has been listening to, any new artists to check out, and movies to check out, this, that, and the other, just to get some feedback. So it basically kind of touches into what Shanay was talking about with our guest in the show today. So because I don't know where this placement is going. I don't know where the placement is going for. Is it before, after the placement? So with our guest today, that's what they were talking about. Kind of, yeah. Okay, so they were trying to hitting on that. So it's basically kind of what y'all hinted on. And I was actually getting it ready because I was going to type it up this weekend, but I'll be at work, so it'll be typed up and posted on Monday.
Okay, nice. So guys, we got to follow that. blackeducatedandbroke.com for the Mayan Empire. And you know, Maya, you're talking about what you've been doing in this quarantine. At the expo this weekend, that's one of the things we're talking about. Like, we're talking about recovering amidst coronavirus. You know, the thing is more so, first of all, like, what all did you go through? Like, let's talk about the experience. Coronavirus, let's talk about how it affected you mentally, how it affected your business, how it affected your relationship. Then we're asking the racial injustice that just went out, skyrocketed again. How did that affect you? How did it affect your family? Then we want to switch the narrative to go to, okay, how did you recover? How did you recover your business during coronavirus? How did you recover mentally with coronavirus in a family or going through a divorce? Like, we're having like conversations like that so that, you know, women can exhale and get that positivity and get that extra boost and motivation that you need to get you for the next couple of months. Since we don't know how long it's gonna go on, but the goal is to enforce positivity. So, you know, Maya, if you can make it, you'll get poured into. If not, I'm gonna see if I can get it on record or record it. Maybe send you a copy. Okay.
Yes, record it, please. Okay. Just, you know, just so you can post it. Like, not everybody's gonna be able to make it, and I know you probably won't be able to live stream it all, like the whole thing. But honestly, having a recording of everything is actually like really genius.
Okay, I think I'm gonna really try to push that further. Thank you for that. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and take this final break and wrap it up and tell you about next show. We got some things popping. Keep it locked in here on Black, Educated, and Broke.
Hey, man, grab your phone, grab your mama phone, grab your auntie and your granny phone, and tell them to follow us on Instagram as well as Facebook.
And that's going to be at Black, Educated, and Broke.
We also on YouTube, y'all. Subscribe.
And follow us on Twitter at BEB Podcast _ATL.
Now, if you forget, I'm about to kick you in the ass.
Ooh, not the A.
All right.
We in the A.
All right, guys, we are back here wrapping it up on Black, Educated, and Broke. My boo, Maya, Mike B, Ron, Q, and Szn3 still hanging out with us, okay? Which, if you missed it, I need you to rewind and listen to the segment earlier because we had an amazing guest letting us know lots of information going on in Black film, and you need to go listen, okay? For next show, guys, next week, we're going to have a possible Slap It or Dap It. Q, for those who are like, Slap It or Dap It, oh my God, what is that? Let them know what that is.
Slap It or Dap It is our amateur set, our program segment where you submit your music, rapping or singing. We listen to it and we give you an honest opinion on it. Straight up.
You can't get any more clear than that. So if you want to submit, send us an email to blackeducatedandbroke@gmail.com, or you can send us something in the DM in regards to that at blackeducatedandbroke. As always, Mike B, tell them how they can listen and subscribe.
Listen, subscribe your favorite podcast apps, but preferably SoundCloud, Apple Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and then catch the video on YouTube.
Yes,
and Ron, what is our social media platforms?
Oh
my God. Ron.
I ain't got to memorize.
Oh, Lord.
It is the name of the show.
Right.
But we got the different ones. I don't know.
Black Educated and Broke. Facebook and Instagram, like, follow, share, all that good stuff. And on Twitter, BEB Podcast _ATL.
You know, we're gonna give him just, it's been a long day. You know, he's
and subscribe to our
38.
YouTube page. I'm gonna say that again. YouTube. Push them
I'm
like
so
buttons.
disappointed in you this evening.
He had a long segment. He tired now.
And as always, guys, you get all information on our website, blackeducatedandbroke.com, where you can catch things like the amazing, awesome, the Mayan Empire. It's been your girl, Randy O.
Mike B.
It's Maya.
Boy, Ron's sick and tired of these damn Karens.
Shanae.
And as always, we here to cue the takeover. Peace.
Bye, y'all.
Shanay Day.
Yo, it's your boy Armie, and the only podcast that's keeping us informed on Black culture is Black Educated and Broke. Stay tuned.